While being bitten by a radioactive spider or being given a super soldier serum may result in superpowers, in the Marvel Universe, money talks, much like the real world. If you want to fly around in a custom helicopter or jet-wearing indestructible suits having high-flying adventures, it helps to be filthy, stinking rich. Let's have a look at 10 of the richest Marvel characters. Number 10. Professor X, $3.5 billion. Let's start the list with a character everyone loves. Professor X, commonly known as Charles Xavier, is the father of X-Men and also one of the richest characters in Marvel's history. Professor X came into his money the old-fashioned way. He inherited it. Both of his parents were successful nuclear scientists. Born as the sole heir to the Xavier fortune, Charles has only known the security of money, which makes his choices as an adult all the more spectacular. This dude is legendary, as without his vision to set up a school for gifted young mutants, we might never have seen the X-Men. He used his family's mansion as the school's address and the X-Men's base of operations. So, with a little helping hand from his parents, plus his own financial achievements gained from his genetics and psychology research, the professor has managed to achieve a net worth of $3.5 billion. Number 9. Emma Frost, $9 billion. You don't get to be a member of the Hellfire Club unless you are in the global 1%. Emma Frost is another Marvel Comics character with immense wealth and riches. She was the heir to the Frost fortune, and she has used it to invest in several companies over the years. It also helped that she was a psychic, and that helped her when it came to investments and business deals. She became a member of the Hellfire Club because of her fortune. There is one other thing to take note of. Emma has the power to turn herself into a diamond, which means she is physically valuable. As for money, she has an estimated worth of $3 billion. Number 8. Norman Osborn, $10 billion. For a guy who has a chronic habit of dropping into periods of bonkers psychosis, Norman's not exactly on the ropes financially. He's the CEO of Oscorp, after all. He ran Oscorp following in the footsteps of his industrialist father, Amberson Osborn. Norman was able to build the company into a massive success, where he grew in power while the world was unaware that he was the psychotic Green Goblin on the side. Even after he was defeated at the end of Siege and seemed to lose everything, Norman Osborn was too smart for that. He had his money and fortune spread all over the world, so the United States government couldn't even dent his fortune. Osborn is worth around $5 billion. Number 7. Reed Richards, $12 billion. With a name like that, you'd expect him to be a billionaire, right? Exploring the multiverse isn't easy or cheap. Fortunately, when you've got the greatest mind on Earth, making money isn't so hard. Reed Richards considers making money to be pretty far down on his list of priorities. However, his wife Sue and brother-in-law Johnny have managed to monetize their adventures to fund their lifestyle. Between patenting Reed's various inventions and merchandising rights, the Fantastic Four have amassed several fortunes. His patents and inventions did so well that he was able to fund the Fantastic Four and pay for the Baxter Building. If I could choose any superpower at all, I'd most definitely consider Mr. Fantastic's abilities for sure. Number 6. Wilson Fisk, $40 billion. Wilson Fisk is also known as the kingpin of crime in the Marvel Universe. Thus, it is easy to guess how he got his wealth. Unlike the other Marvel characters on this list before Wilson, Wilson Fisk did not inherit any money or ruler of any country. Wilson got his money the old-fashioned way through extortion, gambling, petty crime, gun running, and his spice trader's legitimate enterprise. Wilson Fisk has often said that he was an impoverished child due to a drug-addicted father. With that in mind, it is very impressive where Fisk ranks among the richest characters in the Marvel Universe. His estimated financial worth is $40 billion. Number 5. Tony Stark, $80 billion. Next up, we have the beloved Tony Stark, aka the Iron Man. Like many others, Tony Stark inherited much of his fortune. Upon taking over the family business, Tony increased the scope of the company very quickly. His genius, both in technology and business, took Stark to the very top of the business world. Tony Stark is so rich that he decided to build himself a weaponized suit to fend off bad guys and supervillains. Nevertheless, he's Iron Man and worth $80 billion, so I think there's not much chance of him ever needing a job anytime soon. And if you think he's dead, you need to read more comic books. Number 4. Dr. Doom, $100 billion. What do you get when you combine the genius of Reed Richards with the ambition of Tony Stark, but without the ethics of either? Victor Von Doom, aka Dr. Doom. Doom is a supervillain that at times is untouchable. That is because he is the monarch of the sovereign nation of Latveria. He is also a good ruler to his people and ensures no one goes hungry in his country. That is why, with rare exceptions, his people love him. Dr. Doom can care for his people through his personal wealth. He has several patents in electronics he invented and owns all his country's assets. This edge, and what little Latveria does produce on its own, is also why we reckon he's on his way to do better than Tony Stark. Number 3. Black Bolt, $250 billion. This might come off as a surprise to you, but Black Bolt, and by extension the entire Inhuman royal family, are sitting on a huge fortune. It includes real estate, the hidden city in the Himalayas, an island off Manhattan, and even the freaking moon. Not only are they technologically advanced, but they also have the Terrigen crystals. The crystals have the potential to transform anyone carrying the Inhuman gene into a superhuman. Between that and their status as the rarest substance on Earth, they are worth hundreds of billions. Should they choose to share their advanced technologies, they would revolutionize most industries overnight. No wonder their estimated net worth is $250 billion. Number 2. Namor, $260 billion. Namor is Marvel's version of Aquaman, and he's the king of the sea and ruler of Atlantis. He is basically the ruler of the oceans and the prince of Atlantis. He has laid claim to pretty much everything that modern-day society has lost in the oceans. This adds up to billions of dollars worth of lost treasures he has access to that almost no one can reach. However, that is only the tip of the iceberg. Namor is also the owner of Oracle Inc. in corporate America. While he cares little about the surface world, he knows that a vast fortune, as much as $6 billion, will help him maintain his status in the world at large. Number 1. Black Panther, $500 billion. If Tony Stark is a genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, T'Challa is all that and more. Besides being a legendary warrior equal to Captain America, he is also a king. In terms of actual net worth, it's not exactly a contest without the Black Panther at the top. As an absolute monarch of his country, his net worth is tied to its own GDP and fiscal reserves. No surprise then that estimates of T'Challa's net worth, thanks to Wakanda's 10,000-ton reserve of vibranium, range from $500 billion to $100 trillion. As the head of state, T'Challa has access to all this money. He proved this in the Marvel character universe when he had multiple buildings erected in the United States using his vast fortune. Which one of these Marvel characters do you like the most? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.